Hi, folks. I hope your week is starting out well. This is a very short video just to go over some key things that I think that will help us moving forward. And some reminders. So I'm just going to start off with things like around my settings, particularly notifications. If you haven't discovered this already, please go and do that, so that you can get notified. It's very specific. You can be notified by week, and then you can get rid of the weeks before if you want. I obviously I'll have different settings than you because I'm, trying to stay on top of everything. Make sure you pick the right community. There are many communities that you might be part of. So make sure you pick 1608-23, Fall 23. So, and that way you'll be notified of things, and then you can come in, and it's more efficient, and you can come in and sort of see if somebody's replied to your note and that kind of thing. So I think that would be very helpful. I've also added a calendar here. I put a few things in, and I'm just doing the different weeks that we have and when different assignments are due. So it's just like a quick place that you can use to go and find what's going on. So, and that's all the way up to the end of the course. So just to let you know that that's there. And that's right. Oh, and if you want, there's some help tools here, and the most helpful thing is the videos. There's a video about linking to another note or a website. It's very easy to do. You just use the little chain link button in the edit window, but just if you could watch the little, which is here, actually there, that thing. So, but for each note has got a note number. So if you're linking to a note, something internal to the Pepper environment, you can use the note number, and that's what I do. I select a name, and then I put in the note number into this little window that comes up, and then save it, and it'll pop up as a hyperlink. So you can go through this. It's a very short video, very handy. It's very good to be able to do that in this database, and particularly when you're doing summaries of what's been going on in a week. So for your discussion moderation activities, it's very helpful. So that's there. The other thing I wanted to just mention is a little bit about what is going on when you're doing discussion. So everybody writes different kinds of things. Oh, and that's another thing. The note and thread. You can in each folder or each view, you can either go note by note. So if you link on something, it will come up here, which I never did put that in there probably. Or you can, for instance, do something and go to a thread, and then with that thread, it'll take you right through the whole of that, all the notes that were in that whole view. So, and this can be very, it's helpful. It's nice also to find your way through that. And that brings me to another point. And I've written individually to different people about this, but when you do note titles are very important in discussion environments. They should actually just be about what it is that the content of what you're writing about, not about whether it's a reply or not. Because if you can see here, a reply is an indent, happens as an indent, and there's a reply to a reply, and then this is a reply to that note, so at each level. So you don't need to tell us whether it's a reply or not. That's part of the structure of the online system. What you need to talk about is the content. Why should we read your note? What is it going to tell us? And I think that's helpful for you, I do it myself. I try to think, what is this note about before I write a note title? And that helps you focus, and it also keeps your response not too long, because part of this is you have to think about online discussion as a conversation and not as a kind of demonstration of knowledge specifically. It's about working with and interacting with the material and with other people so that you can, through that discussion, develop a better understanding of things. That's why it's helpful to read other people's work, because it can help you think about something in a different way than you did before. And that's the point of it. The interaction is the point of online discussion environments. It's their value. And the fact that you aren't having to think on the spot synchronously is another value, and this is quite clear in the literature actually about the value of online discussion environments. This is the thing, it's the reflection. So make the most of that. I don't need you to write long notes demonstrating your understanding of the article. Your graduate students, I trust that you will read this stuff and, and try to make the most of it and take in what makes sense for you in your particular context. And you can have discussions about that. But if all that you do in here is jump in, write a long sort of demonstration note, no one else can interact with that. It's also really hard to find a title, because if it's a big long note like that, what is the point? I mean, not, the absolute point of what you're writing. How could you summarize that? If you can't summarize what you're saying in your entry, then that tells me that the entry's too long, and it's a way of thinking about that. They don't have to be super long. I'd rather you did fewer, shorter, more interactive and thoughtful entries than give me one big long thing, because that's not really what is being asked for. So, and I'm not sure if other people in discussion environments, if you've taken classes like this before, have mentioned that, but for me I want you to experience the point, what discussion environments are good for, and both as a learner and as a teacher when you're doing the moderation. So I want you to have both of those experiences, and your own contributions have to be framed in that perspective as well, so that you can see why they're better. The learning journal is a place for you to think about how ideas that you've found in the course relate to your own sort of goals and expectations, and that's great. So that's what you can do in there. And you are writing a journal entry each week, just to be clear. But that's the part where you reflect on, well, what does this mean for me? And there isn't a deadline about when you have to get that in, like each week. I'm not going to come and check to make sure it's there, but you need to, because you have to do one each week, you need to do them regularly. And as I say, they don't have to be super long, but they do need to be thoughtful. And part of the experience of writing the notes and interacting with the other people may help you come up with some thoughts for your journal each week. So I'm encouraging you to sort of think about these things in a more holistic way. So I hope that's helpful, and I will see you more online. Okay.